um, earlier today, um, the repugs had blocked the bill that would have helped military vets, and the blindsided veterans erupted in fury after the Senate repugs suddenly tanked a PACT Act. Now, blindsided veterans erupted in anger and indignation Thursday after Senate repugs suddenly had tanked a widely supported bipartisan measure that would have expanded medical coverage for millions of combatants exposed to toxic burn pits during their service. Now, the people, supporters of the Sergeant First Class Health Robinson of Heath Robinson honoring our promises to address the Comprehensive Toxins Act, our PACT Act, overwhelmingly expected the House passed bill to sail through to the president's desk for signature. But in a move that shocked and confused veteran groups Wednesday night, 41 Senate repugs blocked the bill's passage, included 25 who had supported it a month ago. People expected it. People, we really expected yesterday. We really expected yesterday to be a procedural move, our vote that would go with easy passage," said Jeremy Butler, who's the CEO of Iraq and Afghanistan Veterans of America, a nonprofit veterans organization, and that was the absolute expectation. Now, the PACT Act would have expanded the VA health care the VA healthcare eligibility to more than 3.5 million post 9/11 combat veterans who were exposed to toxins while serving in the military. The Senate passed the original legislation 84 to 14 in June, but it underwent minor changes when it moved to the House, where it passed 342 to 88. When the bill returned to the Senate, the bill had not changed much, but the view and vote of 25 senators did. It's unclear what prompted for them to flip their mind. Veterans believe the move was political. We've seen partisanship in games within Congress for years. But what is shocking is that so many senators would literally be willing to play with veterans' lives so openly like this. They manufacture reasons to vote against legislation that they literally voted for just a month ago, and it's really a new level of low. Veterans who were exposed to toxins during their deployment and said that the lives of sick and dying people who served the nation are on the fucking line here. It's angering and it's fucking frustrating. This is what Tom Porter, 54, who developed asthma after spending a year in Afghanistan with the U.S. Navy Reserve from 2010 to 2011, said. In the first week of his deployment, Porter said he suffered what they call serious. He said he suffered serious reaction with his lungs and he had trouble breathing. Leroy Torres, 49, who was diagnosed with a lung disease and toxic brain injury after he was deployed to Iraq within the U.S. Army, said he was devastated about the failure of the bill, and he urged lawmakers to reconvene immediately. Now, we know these senators are getting ready for a break, but I didn't get a break when I was deployed. Basically, a lot of people, that's true too with a lot of these people. They should not be allowed to go home until they figure this shit out. If you're in the Army, you're taught not to accept defeat and never quit. Basically, Leroy Torres said that he's going to keep pressing this issue. Now, his wife, Rosie, who's the co-founder and executive director of the nonprofit Burn Pits 360, said that the 25 senators who flipped their votes should be fucking ashamed of themselves. And in protest, she and other advocates plan to camp on the steps in the U.S. Capitol Thursday night. These veterans fought for our freedom during the war, she said. It's partisan tactics on the backs of veterans that are sick and dying. The PACT Act was named after a guy named Heath Robinson, who was a sergeant with the Ohio National Guard, who was deployed in Kosovo and Iraq. He died in 2020 from lung cancer, which was caused by a burn pit exposure. Open-air burn pits were common at U.S. military bases during the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, but dangerous materials from electronics and vehicles to human waste were regularly doused in jet fuel and set ablaze, spewing toxic fumes and carcinogens into the air. Many others have deployed cancers. So many others have developed cancers, respiratory illnesses, and other serious conditions as a direct result of exposure to toxins, veteran groups say. Now, the current president, Joe Biden, who has championed the PACT Act, said he believes his late son, Beau Biden's brain cancer was linked to exposure to burn pits while he was deployed in Iraq in 2008. Now, Senator Pat Toomey, who voted against the legislation in June, has remained vocally critical of the bill. Yesterday, after the vote, he said that the bill included a budget gimmick that moved $400 billion for over 10 years from discretionary to the mandatory spending category, which he considered unreasonable. His view did not change in Wednesday's vote. The views of Senator Ron Johnson certainly did, however. Johnson voted for the bill back in June, but he voted against it on Wednesday, and he said in a statement that the bill opens the door for more reckless government spending. Why repugs like Johnson changed their minds a month ago after passing as legislation remains unclear, and said it was compounding, and he said it was compounding and unclear to veterans and advocates who shared their ire in Washington D.C. on Thursday. Now, the comedian Jon Stewart, who has advocated for 9/11 first responders and military veterans for years, basically attacked the repug lawmakers outside the Capitol Thursday, and he angrily described their opposition to the bill as an embarrassment to the Senate and to the country and to the founding fathers. Their constituents are dying, and they're going to get it done in recess, Stewart said in a fiery laden remark. You know, tell their cancer to take a recess. Tell their cancer to stay home and go visit their families. This is a disgrace. If this is America first, America is fucked. So basically, if you like the video, you can give the video a like and subscribe to my channel, RBW King. You can also hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video comes out, and thanks for listening. And also, you can donate to my Patreon link, which you can find in the About section of YouTube, and for just as little as $3 a month, your donation can help go a long way. So...